right, yes. One voice. One voice. When I first thought of one voice, Voices of Africa brought to you in opera, I really thought unity, altogether, synchronization, single event, many, many, many elements pulled together as one element, that one single voice. Opera, multiple voices singing together as if one voice. Multiple styles coming together as one voice. So to express that singularity, I put together a piece. One voice. Africa, multiple voices, multiple mouths singing, multiple voices brought together by one single element, one line. The whole piece is drawn together with one single line, from start right the way up through Africa, down, out the other end, to finish. One single line. That is the way I can express one single voice, a singularity. It's also delivered as one event. My pen never left that paper once. From start to finish, one single line, one event, no stops, no starts. That is how it got delivered. And a show is the same thing. When the show starts, the show must go on. And my artwork is not just a picture drawn with a single line, but an event. It is a single moment, a unified moment of pure focus, start, finish, complete. This is my one voice, multiple voices of Africa delivered in a single entity, a single line, a single event, one voice. Oh yes, there were many, many practices, many practices. I must tell you, I would think I'm nearly finished, nearly done. I'll just have a lapse of concentration. Pen leaves the paper, I get stuck somewhere, I've got to double back, it just didn't feel right. Many, many, too many. I would have liked to have done it once, one voice being done once, but instead it takes practice to get that one voice. I'm sure opera singers understand, you practice for years to deliver that one song. You can check for yourself. Start the line, where the line starts, down at the bottom, at the word, one voice. It enters into South Africa. This is where we are. I thought that was quite appropriate, that the line should start down here. And you can trace it all the way up, follows up through West Africa, across the top, across the north, and down the east coast, all the way back down to where South Africa is, and exits on the right into the date. So it will probably take you as long as it took me to draw it, to trace that line, but try it, follow it. I would be very curious to know how many meters of lines there are in that drawing. So if somebody knows how to measure it, please, I'll welcome the input. It'll be fascinating. Thank you. One voice is very appropriate. We talk about South Africa as being unity and diversity, that we have multiple components, multiple traditions, cultures, races, religions, urban versus rural, first world, third world, so many different forms of thinking, capitalist, socialist, communist, it's all here. We are so incredibly diverse. This is an absolute melting pot of just about everything the world has to offer. And yet, we are one country. We've just votes, elections right now. We're coming together not to fight, but to actually be citizens of one country. You start thinking that we're not unified just by the vote, we're unified by diversity. And here we've got opera, which I think for a lot of people think that opera is European. But the Hampton opera really it digs into African roots. It delivers some very unique product that has brought opera into the 21st century, has brought opera into Africa, has brought it into this melting pot of cultures. It really does deliver. And one voice is so appropriate because it pulls all of this together into one performance. And it can come across as one voice. It's just really quite remarkable when you start thinking of it in that light. How can we have one voice in this melting pot of contradiction and difference in philosophies and thought and lifestyles? One voice. Yes, something I learned. It was actually physically quite taxing, I must say. To do a drawing in that time without a break. Couple of things. In the practices, I learned that I needed to just wrap my pen with an elastic band. It gave the pen a lot more grip, which stopped my fingers from slipping, and while I was hanging on to the pen to stop it slipping, I'm sure that would cramp. My fingers were cramping, they were so sore, they would be tired. You try to hold anything for an hour. Now you try and hold something with your fingertips with precision. So the elastic band was a little solution that helped me hold the pen as relaxed as possible. Another thing I found, my eyes. Wow. I sit at a computer, I can read a book, and any of these things. But doing that drawing, that continual, ongoing focus, was really quite a strain on my eyes. It really was. It was tough. It was not easy at all. And I know a lot of people look at this and think, you picked up a pen, did a little cartoon drawing. It was challenging and it took a long time. Many, many hours. A lot of preparation. I had to prepare that sketch beforehand. I didn't just wing it. There were preparations. Every mouth was planned where it was going to go. They're relevantly shaped to match Africa and certain areas of the continent. So there was a lot of planning. Too many practices for my liking, because every time I practiced, I thought it was going to be the final piece. But something would pop up, fingers tired, pen slips, any number of issues came up that would turn the final piece into a practice. Tear it up, throw it away, move on, start again. And in cataloguing it, it really changed it into an event as well. Set the camera on me from start to finish, as I almost feel like proof. I felt like I needed proof it's quite easy to say, oh, I drew it with one line, start to finish, no problem. But it's another to watch the video. To watch it, it's sped up for your convenience, but to watch the full length one is exhausting. It's not boring, but it's emotionally taxing. It takes a lot of concentration to keep your eyes glued on the screen. And the viewer then gets to experience what I was experiencing. I wanted to stop every 5 minutes I wanted to stop, take a break, walk around, but I had to carry on. And then you will have experienced what I experienced. And my drawing has gone to an art form, to a performance piece, something that can be experienced. Just like the opera is something to be experienced. You can buy the program, you can buy the ticket, but you have to be there. You have to be in the moment to truly connect and enjoy what and really appreciate what has been delivered to you. You can experience it in a very different, deeper way. And I warn you now, it's not a pleasant way. It's an exhausting way. It's a challenging way.